Oklahoma season preview for 2026. What are the Sooners going to be when it comes time to spot the ball? My question for Oklahoma is, can they run the ball? I don't have very many more questions than can they run the ball. Does Oklahoma get better at offensive line is also another question I have, because their offensive line isn't that great either. Could be some questions there. So we need a more balanced offense, and we need a better offensive line. Those are some of my questions that I think can get answered. Like I don't think that those are things that are unable to be answered. So if you can balance the offense, get better at O-line, be able to run the ball, Oklahoma should be okay offensively. I mean, John Mateer, I think he'll be back to his pre-injury form, which was phenomenal if you don't remember. So I think we don't have a ton of offensive questions. Wide receiver room looks pretty good with Sategna there and transfer Parker Livingstone from Texas. Two guys I'm pretty relatively high on as well. So I don't have a ton of questions there either. My only question would maybe be defensive line, because of how new some of these guys are. Like David Stone is a freshman. He's a 5-star freshman. So, there could be some questions there. Taylor Wine, I mean, he looks amazing. Like I'm saying, those two guys look incredible, but there could be some questions there with their defensive line in terms of, hopefully they get off to a hot start, which I'm going to pull up their schedule in a second. It's a tough schedule, so you got to be hot off the start, and I don't think that they're going to be set up well for a hot start because of the teams they have to play. So their D-line could be a question for me. Their DB room, Dakota Fields and Peyton Bowen, are both two guys that are phenomenal. So their DB room looks really, really good. So that's kind of their roster overview. What about their, just team as a whole? I think Oklahoma's team as a whole is good enough to compete in the SEC. They're good enough to probably be 10-2. My prediction for them, I'll go ahead and say it now, is 9-3. But I think they're good enough to be a 10-2 team. That's my high for them. My low is 7-5. I'm going to pull up their schedule right now. 7-5's potential on the schedule. They have to play Michigan on the road. They have to play Georgia on the road. Texas at home. They have to go Florida on the road. Ole Miss, A&M at home. That is no easy stretch. You also have to go South Carolina at home, which I think South Carolina is going to be a sneaky contender this year. So looking at the schedule, that is a tough schedule. That is for sure. That's a tough schedule. So there's no easing into things when you have to play Michigan, Georgia, and Texas in the first 5 games of the season. So my questions for Oklahoma is, if you're going to lose early and win late. Like if you lose, if you start off slow, you're probably dropping Georgia, Texas. Might be able to beat Michigan. You got to win out, man. You got to beat Florida. You got to beat Ole Miss. You got to beat A&M. You got to beat South Carolina. You're going to have to be really, really strong late, which I think Oklahoma can be. So their schedule works out relatively okay for them. Tough schedule. It's a top 5 toughest schedule in college football for sure. So that's kind of my Oklahoma 2026 season preview for them. Make sure you let me know in the comments your thoughts on it and what you think Oklahoma's final record would be in 2026.